Good morning. Miles Robinson's contract extension was announced yesterday, and um, you've talked about Miles's quality and the things he brings to this team often. But if there is one thing or maybe a specific thing about Miles that makes him special to your group, what would be that thing?
It's hard to pinpoint one thing. Does a lot of things very well on and off the field. We're very happy to get a deal done and have him with the group long term. I'm sure I've seen comments about what he means to the group from a playing perspective, from a character perspective. It's hard for me to say he does one thing so exceptional that the others you lose sight of. On the field, his composure, his speed, his game understanding. Off the field, his willingness to do what the team needs in leadership moments and being there for his teammates, representing the club the right way within the community. I guess I just named a few, didn't I? He's great to work with, and we're happy, like I said, to have him here for the foreseeable future.
You've always been someone who's very focused on the next week, not trying to look too far into the future. Uh, but having him here for the long term, how much security, stability to the defense does that provide you when you think about the team, not only through the end of this year, but next year, year after that, through the end of, I guess, whenever he signed?
You always try to keep important pieces and key figures within the club that have performed and have strong character, and Miles has both of those things, and we're excited because there's a level of comfort knowing that he's going to be with us, and when he's on the field, how important he is to what we're trying to do and us having success.
Chris also spoke about how he's grown as a leader, and I think because he's so quiet, like maybe, on the outside that doesn't come through as much. Like, how do you see his leadership manifest with the team?
He's a quiet leader. Like I said, it's a presence more so than the noise. So just when he's on the field, the comfort that you as a coach and his teammates have, and knowing he can cover for mistakes, and knowing he can run over distance and take care of the best attackers in this league and the most creative attackers. With the ball, he's a calming presence. I think he's improved with decision making, with understanding of different opposition structures, what his passes are going to look like. We will always challenge him for more because I think there's still more for him to improve, and I think he knows that. He likes to be pushed, he likes to be challenged, and he likes to step up to challenges. So, I think it's more of just a calming presence than a loud presence.
And then kind of turning to Nashville, you guys had the extra week to kind of look over and review what kind of did you notice any maybe trends in these last 3 home losses that maybe you tried to focus on this week to turn that around?
Yeah, a lot of the final third play. We're struggling to score goals. So how do we create in different ways, and how are we running to goal? And how do we change speeds in different ways from different positions? So a lot of that was the focus. I thought it was a really good training period in the lead up to Nashville. So you'll see similarities as far as structure to the Philly game, but they obviously have their own way of doing things, and so it was a good week, and that's what I think is a missing piece right now is scoring goals. We haven't scored any in the last 3 home games, and we've conceded 1 in each of those. So in goals that we've conceded that I've mentioned, and that can be prevented. So the margins are small, and we're not winning those margins right now, and so hopefully we can see some of the work that the guys have done over the last 10 days to translate into better production on Saturday.
Why do you think the scoring has been so difficult for this team? I mean, clearly there's talented players, guys that can score. Can you go into any specifics about why that's been?
This isn't out of the norm for teams to struggle to score goals. I think we're accustomed to finishing plays off, and with top attacking talents, you usually don't see stretches where you're not scoring at home. But I think if I had an answer for it, we would have scored more goals by now over the last couple games. But for me, it's always going to be about the positions that we're in. Yeah, if we're not in positions to score goals, if we're not a threat, if we don't have the ideas, concern is going to be there. But if you look at some of the moments over the last 3 games, there's been moments to score goals, both set pieces and the run of play and in transition. So, I don't want to make excuses for the guys. We have to be better. And for myself, we have to be better in finishing plays off. But I look at a lot of moments, and I don't think it's lacking the ideas. I think it's lacking the decision-making, guys rushing plays or just not making plays. And then there's also a couple of plays thrown in there that you look at how an opponent defended it in a good way and put their body on the line to block a shot. So you have to give credit to those moments, with the opposition. So I don't think we're far off, but we're not scoring. So, how and when that happens, hopefully soon. But I think there's been enough moments for us to have scored a few goals over the last, 3 home games in this stretch that we're talking about.
Nashville's been one of the teams who's seen a lot of improvement, particularly over the time BJ has been at the helm and this year just where they are in the table. Are there any changes, improvements you've seen from the tape on Nashville heading into this weekend compared to the last time you saw them, which, at this point, long time ago, but
yeah, that's too long ago for me to put too much emphasis on as far as our preparation. But that's a coach that's had time to work with a group and consistently improved. And I know BJ on a personal level, so that's not a surprise to me. Is being able to work with a group for a period of time where you can get your ideas to those players and then see it play out in a better way. So they've had consistency in their play. I know their stretch recently is similar to ours as far as results, but when you watch the games, they're in every game. They have consistency in their play with and without the ball. Defensively organized, good pressing team as far as how and where they want the ball to go. And, different ways that they can beat you with their attack. It's not a one-dimensional team. I think they can beat you in the run of play with good build-up. They can beat you with good direct play. They can beat you on set pieces. So there's a good balance, and that's what our guys need to be prepared for.
I was going to ask, is there a part of their game that is most stand out to you, most specific, maybe an identifier or a calling card of what Nashville does? But is it that diversity of balance, I guess is what you were just saying?
Within the diversity is key pieces. When you look at Mukhtar and Surge, and okay, there's moments where put aside all those things I just said, you have really good players that can make plays and willing runners. Moyle, Schaufelberg, you got guys that compete the right way. I think whatever the combination of the midfield is, technical players, good under pressure, know how to move the ball, know how to move off the ball. And so defensively, a physical center back duo, whoever's on the field, different ways that they can attack out of the outside back position. So it's a well-balanced team, and within that balance is some pretty good individual players as well.
Do you feel like you guys need a win to kind of regain the confidence of the fan base at this point?
We need a win for a lot of reasons, but where we're at in the season, the stretch of not winning at home, I would imagine the fans aren't happy with not winning games, just like we aren't. So we want to win for a lot of reasons, and certainly to have them experience a win on our home field that hasn't happened often enough recently.
Did you guys take anything from, because the last time, I think maybe Carter brought this up recently as well, but the last time you guys came back from a break, you guys went on that, I think it was 6-1-1 stretch. Was there anything you could draw from that stretch that maybe could apply as you're trying to kind of get back on track?
It just afforded us time to work on things, and hopefully the time that we were afforded to work on things translates in the ways that I mentioned previously, especially in the attack. But with that June break, we came out in a good way. It wasn't perfect, but we got results, and so it started in the New England game, and we carried that through a good 2-month stretch of getting results. We've worked on things that I've been pleased with the outcome, and I think the players are too. It's, can we make that or transition that into the game when it matters the most? And we were able to do that previously, and hopefully we can see that on Saturday with a better performance and result. But anytime you're afforded a 2-week period to work on what hasn't been good enough, you typically see improvement. So hopefully that's the case.
Then we didn't see Matt in training the last couple days. Is there?
He needed a couple extra days. He had our last day of training Friday before we had a little break. Just took a knock in his knee or on his knee, and he'll be back today full.
And then Sam Geedy.
Mm-hmm.
You guys call him Samuel?
Sammy.
What are the expectations for him? How quickly can he get integrated with the group?
He's already integrated. He's had 2 really good days of training. He got 90 minutes prior to arriving, so fitness-wise, no concern there, and you can see it physically as far as a couple demanding training sessions that we had, and he was, he was standing out in a lot of good ways. So saw with the ball some really good actions and ideas. We've been able to layer in information to him while he's been away, and he's been paying attention to all the games and trainings, so it's helped him to get up to speed a little bit, and I think that's why we saw him perform the way he did over the last couple of days. So very pleased he'll be available, and I think on the defensive side of the ball, you can see physically he's in a good place to defend against the ball. Good intensity, good kind of game understanding for a lot that's new to him. So very pleased with how he started.
Is everyone that was away on international duty, will they be available?
Everybody's coming back at different periods. So Roman came back yesterday. Kai came back last night, so they're in the building. Kevin and Teenage arrived this afternoon, and Steven had arrived Wednesday. So everybody is back or on their way back, and then we'll have our full group tomorrow.
Seemed like most of the guys either played the first game, but not as much as the second. Does that kind of help
Teenage
you?
was suspended. That there was some confusion there, but so that was his absence in the second game. I think it was planned with Kevin. And Kai, I actually haven't spoken to him yet about the minutes in the first game and not the second game. So that's not our choice, but we always support these guys and their situations. But we did understand why the Teenage and the Kevin minutes looked the way they did, but Kai was the only one where that's, I imagine, something that was up to the coach in the situation.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.